An outbreak of E. coli has killed one person and sickened 49 others across 10 states, and that number could rise. The fatality was an elderly woman in Colorado, the state with the highest number of cases. Other illnesses have been tied to the Golden Arches in Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Oregon, Utah, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. They all occurred between September 27th and October 11th. McDonald's says it has stopped selling Quarter Pounders in about 1/5 of its U.S. restaurants while federal investigators look into the causes of this outbreak. A preliminary investigation by the Food and Drug Administration points to raw onions served on the burgers as the likely source of contamination. The fast food chain says it has traced the onions back to a supplier that serves at least 3 distribution centers. Symptoms of E. coli infection are really unpleasant. They include a high fever of over 102 degrees, diarrhea, stomach cramps, vomiting. Yikes. Shares of McDonald's fell more than 5% in trading today. Anxious to reassure investors and consumers who eat 25 million McDonald's meals every day, the company's CEO said a meal at Mickey D's was still as safe as it is yummy. So is that true, or is it just PR spin? Joining us now with more is Dr. Donald Schaffner, a food safety expert at Rutgers University, and Teresa Murray, a consumer watchdog national director with the U.S. Public Interest Research Group. Great to have you both with us. Doctor, should we believe the McDonald's CEO that it's safe to eat all the food at McDonald's right now?
Well, I think it's probably as safe as it was before the outbreak. Obviously, they're taking this very seriously and they're investigating it, as are the FDA and the CDC. McDonald's is probably one of the safest fast food restaurants you can go to when it comes to food safety. They take it very seriously. So, yeah, I think he's genuine in his comments.
Teresa, McDonald's says it learned from the CDC late last week about a potential E. coli outbreak. Why are we just hearing about it now? Why didn't they go right away to, announce this to the public?
Yeah, that's very concerning because word just came out yesterday. Whenever there is some kind of foodborne illness, usually the health investigators they'll talk to the victims and they'll piece everything together, kind of connect the dots and figure out what did everybody eat that's the same. Now, if the CDC told McDonald's last week and the CDC chose not to announce it until yesterday, that's very concerning.
Yeah, so it's the CDC's responsibility, right, to alert the public? I mean, as much as we'd like to say McDonald's has a responsibility, they're just a business trying to make money.
Right. I mean, obviously, CDC was trying to make sure that it had all of the correct information. And part of the problem here is that with E. coli, you may not have test results confirmed for a few weeks. So that's why when the cases were from late September to October 11th, then clearly they were probably waiting for the last results to come in enough to connect all the dots.
Dr. Schaffner, the CDC says the number of cases may grow as they make these connections. How difficult is it, though, going back and diagnosing what somebody was sick with several weeks ago?
Yeah, it's really hard. The CDC has a wonderful tool at its disposal called whole genome sequencing. And what that lets them do is it lets them link cases of people that are sick and we don't know from what. And then the next step is you actually interview those people, you find out what they ate, you find out they went to McDonald's, you find out they had Quarter Pounders, and it proceeds like that. But all that whole process from when you get sick to when you go to the doctor to when you go to the hospital to when you get your stool culture to when you get it sequenced to when it gets to CDC, all of that process takes time.
All right, Teresa, I think when people hear E. coli or if they think there might be some sort of food poisoning issue, you immediately think of the meat, the raw meat. How often is it that onions are the source?
Well, we see a lot of foodborne illnesses from bacteria with produce, so things that are produced, they're grown in the ground or near the ground. So it's onions, it's lettuce, it's cantaloupe, those kinds of things. It's not unusual. And the problem with those kinds of products is they don't usually get cooked. They don't get heated enough to kill the bacteria. So it's not surprising that the source of this may not be the beef, which presumably is cooked, but may actually be the onions.
Dr. Schaffner, McDonald's says if it is the onions, it would be the first time that onions would be a carrier for E. coli and cause an outbreak like this.
I think that that's not exactly right. I did a little bit of research today. It looks like there was an E. coli in onions outbreak in Canada.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.